Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to my heart. I'm so glad to be with you this morning, this evening, whatever time it is with you. And so very joyful that we're spending this time together. We have reached the 25th of December. The sun has stopped for 3 days. And now begins its trajectory. The mystical arising of the Kriya currents naturally begins of itself. Are you ready? Are you ready to ride that wave? Are you ready to prepare yourself? Have you prepared yourself for this next wave? If you have not, today is still time. Today is still a day to do this. My guru said of today, the great texts tell us of the wish-fulfilling tree which exists in the astral planes. Those souls who sit under this tree obtain their wishes. The wish-fulfilling tree is the tree of life. This is the chakric tree. Those of you, those of us, those souls who sit in meditation are sitting beneath that wish tree. Thus, we must be aware of what we are wishing for, what we are hoping to draw into our lives, the presence, the gifts of life that we are trying to draw forth. For they will come, maybe not in the time that you would like them, but they will come. And so this morning, today, we stop and reflect. What are the thoughts that you've been thinking? What have you drawn into your life over this last year? What have you drawn into your life? What gifts of life have you drawn? Now, you may say, wow, I've had a pretty tough year. I know some of you have had a pretty tough year. And you may say, I don't think those were any presents. They are. They are. Every experience that you've drawn into your life is a gift. It's a gift that you've brought yourself. Why? So that you might learn, so that you might grow in your awareness of the nature of life, that you might lift the veil. The veil of what? Well, the veil of your preferences, the veil that lives within your consciousness because of your ascendant, the way that you look at the world, which is different than the way that the other 11 look at the world, if you will. What have you drawn into your life, and what can you learn from it? What have you learned from it? And in a sense, one has to look at others also and say, well, what have I seen? What have I become aware of? What gifts have I received by observing them, so that I don't have to walk that same path, so that I don't have to step in that same place, so that I do not have to fall the way that they have fallen. And so always we return again and again and again, in turning to meditation. Now, at this time of the year, you see in many places stars, stars on trees, stars in windows. But at night, we gaze upward into the sky. And if you are fortunate to live in a place without a lot of extra light, you gaze up and the stars fill the night sky, overwhelmingly beautiful, filling the night sky, just beautiful, filling the night sky. And we gaze upward, searching, seeking, what is that? What is that? The mystic says, draw your energy from the limbs to the trunk, from the trunk to the spine, from the spine to the sun center. Gaze here, and you will see, gazing in quiet and meditation, a blue disc. And in the center of that disc, you will see a white pulsating star. And when you see that pulsating star opening and closing, don't just sit and look at it. Don't say, oh, wow, or I wonder what that is. When it opens, step through it, move your consciousness through it, and you will find that you have moved into a new realm of consciousness. For all of the talk of stars, all of the gazing up at stars is really to return to this, the star that exists at your sun center, at your Ajna chakra, the star that is the gateway to the astral, to the causal planes, to the other realms, where you can really travel, where you can really see the light and really understand the nature of the life in which you are living. For you and I, we have incarnated in these bodies, and thus have the limitations of these bodies, have the biases, the prejudices of these bodies, and are living upon Mother Gaia. She may be lifted, and we hope that we lift her and bless her, but there are many places on Mother Gaia where there's many, many, many difficulties coming, where the greeds, not the needs, but the greeds overwhelm. The people grab for this, they grab for that. They have so much and they want more and more and more and more, stuffing it into their psyche, stuffing it into their being, as if there is not enough for all of us, when there is enough for all. And so this sacred moment, what is it about? How do you use it? It's a good Capricorn. I would say, how do I utilize it? But how do you use it? How do you use the moment? Now, I hope that since the solstice and since we've been talking about it for several weeks, that you have had the opportunity, if you will, to turn inward and to reflect upon your life and to reflect upon this past year and to reflect and say, how's it been? Is this part better than the last part? Yeah. Always there should be something that you need to shift, to tweak, to improve upon that will make your life better than the last year was, than the last day, than the last moment. You may not be able to remember how the year was. And so you say, well, how was yesterday? Can't remember how yesterday was. How was my mind when I woke up this morning? You can't remember that? Well, how was my mind before I came to sit at the meditation? And how can I improve that? How can I improve upon that? For everything that we are doing, everything you're letting go of, everything you're clinging and hanging on to can be changed in an instant. Enlightenment is attained with one step. Begins and ends with one step. And so begin now to take that step, to turn inward and upward. And now today, I would like to share with you a very important ritual that I am suggesting that you begin today, and that you do this every day of your incarnation, as best as you are able to from this moment forward. And it begins like this. Once upon a yogi time, there was a young man. His name was Melvin, and he lived in Chicago upon the earth plane. And it was the 1930s. He lived in the part of the city where he got to see a lot of people who were very wealthy. And he saw that suddenly many of them lost their wealth. They lost all their material goods. The stock market crashed. Whatever the stock market is, it crashed. But he noticed that there was one man that he kept running into. And he didn't understand, because every time he saw the man, he was cheerful, he was happy. He was smiling, not the upside down smile, but a smile, a genuine smile. And so they happened to be at the library at the same time. This is where he met a lot of people, at the library. And he said, "Excuse me, may I ask you a question?" Of course, Mel, you can ask me a question. I noticed everybody else around here is why they're really upset. They lost all their money. They're really upset. Now I know from what they tell me, you lost all your money, but you're not upset. Why? What happened? The fellow smiled at him and he said, "I have my memory. I made that wealth before. I can make it again. Yes, I lost it. Yes, that's a little bit of a problem. I made it before. I can make it again." That which we feed, my beloved, lives in our lives. That which we feed returns to us again and again and again. And so it has become clear in meditation that there are many places upon the earth where people are no longer able, or have never been able, to receive an education, to receive the capacity to learn about life. The little children who are taken from their parents, and they don't have the opportunity to learn from mom and dad how to live upon the earth. The children whose parents long for them for so often that they spoiled them. We read about a place upon the earth where girl children were not allowed to be born, and boy children, one child per family. And 50 years later, much problems. Spoiled boy children, not able to live upon the earth by themselves. Stories of children not being able to, being grown men who cannot feed themselves because their mothers continue to feed them. That is crippling. You don't want that. You don't want that. We read upon places upon the earth where people are imprisoned by their thoughts, by others, in buildings. They don't have an opportunity to learn, or to learn becomes very, very hard for them. We have just heard in the last 2 weeks of a place upon the earth where all of the young women are being denied the opportunity to study, to learn as they wish. This is not the only place. It's young women, it's young men, whether they're denied because of economics or they are denied. And so we will begin today on this 25th day of December, a day in which the Kriya currents return and begin to ascend upward, in which it is time for you and I to turn inward and say, yes, let me go with the current. Let me ascend, 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 ascend. And we will begin, and I hope you will join in doing this each and every day with what is an ancient, ancient ritual. It's very simple. At the beginning of every day, the end of every day, whichever you prefer, sometimes both if you prefer, you have taken a book that to you is sacred. You choose a book that you're going to use. And it must be something that is meaningful to you, that is wisdom filled to you. And after you go into meditation, what you are doing is centering your mind. Do it in a minute. Center your mind. And you're going to give a gift to the world, a gift to all of those who are in need, a present, if you will. You will take your memory to do this, the concentrated power of your mind. You will need to remember to do this. You take the book and you put it in your left hand. You lay it in your left hand. Now, if it's small enough to lay in your hand, fine. Sometimes they're very big. Focusing the attention at the sun center. And then make an offering. Very simply. Call upon the powers that be. O ye powers that be, pour forth thy blessings at this moment. May this offering be given to all of those in need. May all of those wishing to learn find teachers, find books, find ways of learning. May the obstacles be removed. Om Tat Sat Om. Take the book, and if you're right-handed, and it is, even if you're left-handed, it's preferred that you hold the book starting in your left hand if you can, and move with the right hand. And you take the book and you're moving like this. Each page as you can, opening. While you're opening, sending all of this wisdom to the others. And then take it, put it in the right hand, and do the same thing the other direction. We will do this 3 times. If you join in the ritual, it's 3 times each time that you do it. The mind must be concentrated on what you're doing. Raise the book to your sun center, to your heart center, and then place it down. Leave it next to your bed, leave it next to your meditation table, wherever you wish to leave it. And each morning that you wake up, or each morning time you meditate, each time before you go to sleep, take the book and perform this ritual. As you do so, remember those who do not have what you have. Remember and offer to them the wisdom. And it's not just the wisdom from this book, but you've chosen a book that to you represents the highest something very special to you, something you very much treasure, and you're giving it to them. So you're giving a present, a gift of your spiritual energy, of your yoga siddhi, of your blessings to the others who do not have what you have. And so each time this year, and I hope going forward, each time that you sit to read something that is very interesting to you, something that you love to study, each time you study language, each time you study a spiritual text, each time you study something meaningful, when you sit down, make an offering. As I learn and I gain from this, may you also. And think of the others who wish to learn, who do not have the opportunity. A few years back, there's a young woman who was in the seminary, and she was living and working in the south of India. And every morning she used to go to the beach as part of her morning meditation. And she befriended a young woman who was selling seashell necklaces and bracelets upon the beach. And they got to talking, and the young woman asked her what she was doing, in the south of India. And she said, well, I'm studying here, and I'm teaching yoga, but I'm studying. I'm going to be a Swami. And she said that the young woman just, how wonderful, how wonderful. In my next lifetime, I'm going to be able to study. I'm going to be able to read. This lifetime, I'm taking care of my family. I'm here selling things on the beach. The next lifetime, give that young woman and all of those young men and women who wish to learn, give them the opportunity. Now, beyond the books, beyond the book learning, there is the learning from the elders. There is the learning of the wisdom that you have to teach. You, each of you, have wisdom to share with others. It might be like my granny, who first taught me how to peel a carrot, and taught me how to very carefully use a paring knife, taught me how to peel an apple for apple pie. She taught me many things, taught me how to make gravy, how to snap green beans. But she taught me kindness. She taught me devotion. She was very devoted, my granny was. And she was very, very devoted to the Lord Jesus and to Mary. She said the rosary every day for as long as I was known. Every night before she'd go to bed, she'd say the rosary. And when I stayed with her, we would start the rosary together, and I would fall asleep, and she would finish the rosary, and then she'd wake me up for a midnight snack of a cookie and milk that nobody else was to know about. And talk about somebody who teaches you joy at the end of your sadhana. It was a wonderful memory, but the memory of our elders, the learning from our elders, the things that we learn from them, the bravery, the courage, and the things that we learn not to do. Sometimes Our elders teach us things that we, no, I don't really want to do that. But this is a time to remember, as you're offering all the gifts that you have been given, to see how those can go to others who don't have guides in their lives, who don't have elders in their lives, who are helping them at this time when they are in need. Now, in ancient Rome, this period of time would be celebrated 2 weeks before today, would be celebrated as the Saturnalia, a festival, a 2-week festival associated with Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, as you know. And they would come to today, and the celebration would turn to the sun, because today is the day has begun, the day when the sun has turned and is slowly, 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 slowly making its point in the sky where it will reach the summer solstice. If you're in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere today, the sun is shining as brightly as can be, and you're out surfing in the waters, as my young friends in Australia tell me. But it's not about the earth. And yet it is. The earth reflects our spiritual life. Our spiritual life reflects the earth. And so now we need to ascend upward and upward and upward to the sun center. And it is through this giving of the gifts that we have, giving of the presence that we have to others, not the material things, my beloved. Although I guess those are, certainly it's nice to have enough to have clothes to cover the body and to keep warm or cool. But to give of those things that are of great value to you. Now, I'm not saying get out and preach. I'm not saying make videos. I'm not saying leave written documents, although you can do all those things. I'm saying turn inward in your meditation and give of the gifts that you have so bountifully to give. As the man gave, as he realized, I have my memory, I have all the experiences, thus I can recreate what I had before. I didn't lose, I lost temporarily. And you may say, well, I've had a rough time. Yes, I hear you. I understand. But within you is the memory of all the wisdom that you have, in all the ways that you know to lift, to turn inward, to turn to life and be lifted, my beloved. Now we begin talking about the wish fulfilling tree. Very important, very important. What you think, what you speak, what you act upon will manifest itself within your life. If you call upon the divine and all the powers that be for help, you will get it. If you call ranting and raving, you might get some ranting and raving. If you close yourself down and say, not me, I don't want it, not me, they can't get through. They can't help. They can't help if you don't let them. But as Kriyanandaji reminds us today, whatever you focus your mind on is going to manifest in your life. So be sure that you are focusing on that which is the good, which is good, best, in the highest good. Not just the good for you personally, but in the highest good. And so I would like to ask you to join me in a meditation today, spending more time turning inward and ascending upward. return to the sun center and let us give the gifts that we have to give. For as we recall these gifts, as we remember them, they come more so to us. You are the center of the circle, the center of the giving circle. It is coming from within you, these gifts. The gift of all of your wisdom, all of your life experiences, all the things that have been a benefit to you, all the things that have been ouches, but because they've been ouches, they've been of benefit, because you've learned from them. I keep saying that, and I want to be clear that I'm trying to communicate to you at a deeper mystical level. You've not just learned how to peel the carrots, but you've learned to stand on your own 2 feet. For that is the spiritual goal, is to recognize in the midst of life, can I stand on my own 2 feet? And if I can I stay there? And if I wobble and I fall, can you get on your knees and reach out a hand for some help? If you fall, can you get on your knees and use the earth to pick yourself up? I am sure you can, but you need to practice again and again and again and again. And so let us turn inward and ascend upward and share today the blessings of life. As we are still in this time of darkness upon the earth, with the sun returning to its brightness very slowly, but always remembering, the sun that we are returning to is the sun, the solar disk within you, and that brilliant light is clouded only with a veil of emotionality. So let us dissolve that today and let us ascend. Namaste. Sit with your spine erect. Your eyes closed. Your hands in the Om Mudra, the index finger and the thumb together. And turn your head to the left with a double exhalation. Bring your head back to the center and begin to watch the breath. Taking 3 long, deep breaths. Use the sipping breath. Pull the energy from the limbs to the trunk. From the trunk to the base of the spine. From the base of the spine to the sun center. Move that energy out as a golden ball of light Expand that light and sweep it 3 times around your body, moving to the left counterclockwise. Encasing your body in a golden ball of light. And now ascend upward. Moving from the sun center. Ascend upward. Ascend to the high place. The high place of meditation. Here, call upon your Ishtadevata, your chosen form of the divine, to be with you at this moment. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Aim, Om Aim, Om Hrim, 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 Om Shim, 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. In your mind's eye, see all of those in need of wisdom, all of those seeking wisdom. Holding the great book of learning, the great book of wisdom in your hand. Let the book open. Paging from left to right. Offer this to all of those seeking wisdom. Move the book into your right hand. And now moving from back to front, offer the wisdom to those seeking. In your mind's eye, see a goblet of water, pure, crystalline clear water. With the use of your mantra, Om, offer this water to all beings who are in need of water, all beings who thirst, that their thirst may be quenched. Offer a present of food, of fruit, to all of those who are hungry, who are facing food instability, whose bodies are hungry. Allow your mind to remember an act of deep kindness that someone has done for you. A smile, a word, a blessing. And offer that to all in need. That feeling, that blessing, offer it as a present. Now an act of compassion. Allow your mind to see an act of compassion, to feel an act of compassion, an act of acceptance, and send that forth. Your mind's eye, see the ability to communicate in whatever languages, including similes. Offer that ability to communicate. And now any other gift, any other present that you wish to offer to life or to individuals within life, do so at this moment. Now in your mind's eye, turn deeper into meditation and bring forth the loved ones whom you might wish to offer a special gift at this moment. Those who are here, those who have gone before us. Feel your loved ones receiving your gifts. And at this moment, open your heart and your mind's eye to receive the blessings that they are sending to you, to receive the blessings of your Ishtadevata, of life itself. At this moment, open your mind's eye. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Feel the golden dewdrops pouring down upon you as gifts from the love of life. Ananda, 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 Ananda. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. With your mind focused at the sun center, the concentrated energies focused at the sun center, allow the blessings to flow through you. Dhyanam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave, Satchitananda Murtaye, Nishprapanjaya Shantaya, Niralamaya Tejase. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. Thank you for the blessings of your presence on this very sacred and special day, for joining to remember to receive the gifts of life, to remember to be prepared. The Kriya currents are ascending of their own accord today and will begin to ascend. Turn inward and meditate. Focus at the sun center. Let the star appear before you and walk through it as it does. Have a most blessed meditation today, most blessed day as the light is slowly beginning to return for all of us. Namaste. And truly, Truly, it is a blessing to see you. It is a blessing to be with all of you today. Shanti, thank you for taking time from your precious days to be together. Thank you so much. Namaste.